Today is our second lecture of biodiversity, and the topic of study is types of biodiversity. In this topic we will discuss about the levels of biodiversity. There are three levels of biodiversity. Genetic biodiversity, in which difference in gene among individuals. These different individuals have different DNA and genetic makeup. It is called genetic diversity. And specific diversity, species diversity. In species diversity, variety of species in a given area. A habitat is selected, and in particular habitat there are different types of species are found. This is called species diversity. And third level is ecosystem diversity, variety of habitats, ecosystems and communities. In ecosystem diversity we study about different habitats, different ecosystems and different communities. In different ecosystem we will discuss about aquatic ecosystem and terrestrial ecosystem, and these two ecosystems are further divided. Aquatic ecosystem is further divided into marine ecosystem and freshwater ecosystem. Marine ecosystem and freshwater ecosystem have their own particular characteristics, and on the other side terrestrial ecosystem is further divided into different types of ecosystem: tundra ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem and desert ecosystem. These all are divisions of terrestrial ecosystem. First we will discuss about the genetic diversity. In genetic diversity, diversity in types and number of genes and chromosomes is found. There are 50,000 varieties of rice. These variety of rice describe the genetic diversity of rice. And in mango there are more than 1,000 varieties are found. It helps in speciation and evolution. And these two terms, you are already familiar with these two terms. Speciation, the process of new species formation, is called speciation, and evolution, change occurs by time, is discussed in the process of evolution. In the species diversity, a variety in number and richness of species. In these two diagrams, this is community 1 and this is community 2, and community 1 and community 2 have the same species richness, but they have different species evenness. In this diagram, in this community, you can see 1, 2, 3 and 4 types of species are found in community 1. It is called species richness. And in community 2 there are also 4 types of species, and both community have the same species richness, but the species evenness is different. In this you can observe 25% portion of all species, and in this portion the first species have its share of 6%, second species have its share of 12%, third species have its share of 70%, and fourth species have its share of 12%. It is called species evenness. Both community have different species evenness but same species richness. Now we will move towards some definitions and terms. Richness, the number of species per unit area is called richness. In the last slide we have discussed about species richness. And evenness or equitability, number of individuals of different species, is called species evenness. I repeat, evenness is the number of individuals of different species is called species evenness. And the third term is dominance. One or more species have dominance as compared to other species. And fourth term is ADAM. Species diversity as number of species per thousand number of individuals. Species diversity as number of per thousand individuals numbers is called ADAM. What is Mannich index? This is new term for students. What is Mannich index? Species richness is a measure of the number of species found in a sample. It is called species richness, and species richness is measured by this Mannich index. This particular measure of species richness is known as Mannich index, which is denoted by capital D, the Mannich index. Capital D is equal to small s under root capital N, where s equals the number of different species represented in your sample, and capital N equals the total number of individual organisms in your sample. Mannich index is repeated. Mannich index is denoted by capital D, which is equal to small s under root capital N, where small s is equal to the number of different species represented in your sample, and capital N is equal to the total number of individual organisms in your sample. It is a description of Mannich index. Now the next term is Simpson reciprocal index. It is denoted by capital D, capital I. Simpson reciprocal index, its formula is capital D, capital I is equal to capital N into capital N minus 1 over sigma small n into small n minus 1. In this term, in this formula, where capital N is total number of individuals collected. Capital N is total number of individuals collected, and small n is the number of individuals of a species. A single species, how many individuals are collected of a single species, which is denoted by small n. Higher the value of Simpson reciprocal index shows greater diversity with low competition. Now we will discuss about the types of diversity. There are three types of diversity: alpha diversity, beta diversity, and gamma diversity. Now we will move toward their definitions and their description. In alpha diversity, it is described within a community. When we discuss the diversity within a community, it is denoted by alpha diversity. And beta diversity, it is a diversity described between the communities. Alpha diversity within community and dependent on the species richness and evenness. Alpha diversity depends upon two factors. The first one is species richness and the second one is species evenness. Beta diversity, it is described between the community. Third one is gamma diversity. Gamma diversity present as range of community over a large landscape. These large landscapes are maybe deserts, they may be deciduous forest, other forest, mangroves, etc. It is given as S1 plus S2 minus C, where S1 is the species in community 1, S2 is species in community 2, and C is common species. In this diagram you can understand alpha diversity. This one is alpha diversity, which is encircled. This circle shows alpha diversity, and in this diagram, this circle and the portion which is shared by both circles is described by beta diversity, and in this third portion, the portion which is shared by circle 1, circle 2 and circle 3, group A, group B and group C. These three circles, the portion which is shared by three groups, it is called gamma diversity. What is zeta diversity? In ecology, zeta diversity, it measures the degree of overlap Zeta diversity, it measures the degree of overlap in the type of taxa present between a set of observed communities. Zeta diversity, it provides a more generalized framework for describing various measures of diversity. It also be used to test various hypotheses. Zeta diversity, it is used to test various hypotheses. Now we will explain all these diversities one by one. Alpha diversity, the most basic measure of community diversity, can be described as the average number of distinct taxonomic groups. For example, unique genera present independent of their abundance on a per sample basis. Species diversity within a single community. Alpha diversity is always a species diversity within a single community. Species diversity within a habitat, and it comprises two components. The first one is species richness, which is discussed earlier, and the second one is species evenness. Sometimes dominant of one vegetation stratum may affect the alpha diversity of the other strata. So the dominance of one species affect the other species. Ecologists describe distribution of diversity on a spatial scale in three classifications: alpha, beta and gamma. Alpha, the diversity of organism within a selected habitat or sample. Beta diversity, index of the rate of increase of alpha as new habitats are selected or sampled. And gamma, the full species diversity or species richness. Gamma describes the full species diversity of a large landscape. Alpha, beta and gamma diversity measures are scale dependent. Beta diversity is the inter-community diversity and expressing the rate of species turnover. Beta diversity expresses the rate of species turnover. Beta diversity, it is the measure to allow for a comparison between the diversity of a local community, which is also described in the term of alpha diversity. The greater the similarity in community composition between multiple communities, the lower the value of beta diversity for that set of communities. Beta diversity between two communities in terms of distinct number of taxonomic groups held in common between them. Given two communities alpha and beta, a measures beta diversity between both communities can be described in terms of their overall A kate B. This diagram shows gamma diversity. Gamma diversity is the overall diversity, include both alpha and beta diversity. In this diagram, you can understand the concept of alpha, beta and gamma diversity. Alpha diversity is a diversity of species in a single sample site. Beta diversity is between two sample sites, and gamma diversity is overall a large landscape area, diversity of large landscape area. And ecosystem include the following terms: the community of organisms. Community, what is community? Basically, community is a large habitat which contain many populations. A population is a group of living organisms of a single species. When population of different species are together, they form a community. For example, a forest is a good example of community. In a forest, there are many species of plants, there are many species of animals, and among the animals there are reptiles, there are birds, there are mammals, and many other group of individuals are present in a single community. So a community is a large term which include all the populations present in a specific environment affected by the physical forces. Which are the physical forces? Those affect on the organisms. These forces may be air, and other may be temperature and air, temperature and other forces also affect the ecosystems. For example, humidity also have an important role. These forces affect the population, ultimately they affect the species. That's why it is very important factor. Biodiversity and regions. Biodiversity witness latitudinal and altitudinal gradient. What is latitude and altitude? Latitude mean the distance from the equator, and altitude mean the height from the equator. The level of the sea level, it is compared between the sea level and the height of the mountain. It is called as altitude. And latitude is the distance, parallel distance. It is not toward the height. It is parallel on the earth and move from equator toward the poles. So these are the two terms which are important, latitude and altitude. Very less biodiversity at poles. Why there is less biodiversity at the poles? Because there are very harsh conditions, their temperature is very low. Cold temperature does not support many species to live there, to inhabit there. That's why the overall fauna of species, there is very less fauna at the poles. The biodiversity is very less, and biodiversity is very high toward the tropics. What is tropics? Tropics is the central portion of the globe which receive the perpendicular sunlight. It receives maximum heat of the sun. That's why the temperature at the tropics is very high, and the temperature at the poles is minimum, is very low. Because at the poles sun rays are parallel, and at the tropics the sun rays are perpendicular. They are bombarding at perpendicular at the tropics, and at the polar regions sunlights are parallel. That's why the temperature in poles is very low, and the temperature at the tropics is very high. Maximum at equator. Why the biodiversity is maximum at equator? Because the temperature is high, the conditions are suitable for the animals to live there and to reproduce there. All the forces, all the physical forces are optimum at the equator, and at the poles they are not optimums. The temperature is very low at the poles. These conditions are not suitable for living organisms to survive there. This slide shows the equator, North Pole and South Pole. At this equator the temperature is maximum, because this area is called tropics. Tropics receive maximum light, and this area is North Pole and this one is South Pole. These both poles receive minimum heat in the form of sun waves. Sun waves pass through parallel from this region and bombarded at this region, tropics region, they are bombarded at perpendicular. That's why this region receive maximum heat and the polar region receive minimum heat. The temperature conditions at the polar region, where the temperature is less than 0 degree centigrade, and in the tropics region the temperature is more than 30 degree centigrade and changes with the seasonal change. Biodiversity and region. Biodiversity decrease with altitude. Why biodiversity decrease with altitude? Because at the height of the mountains the climate condition, the temperature is very low. Because of thinner air portion, the temperature is not very low at the high altitude because of the sunlight. It is low because of the thinner volume of the air. Thinner volume of the air made this area, made the high altitude cold, where temperature drops and seasonal variability increases. Why tropics are good? Because the tropics are good because of sunlight. They receive ample sunlight, maximum sunlight, and there are maximum resources. Tropics are good because they receive maximum, they have maximum resources to survive, and they have plenty of light for the photosynthesis. Less competition due to the favorable environment and low rate of extinction. Tropics faces less competition and they also face less extinction. Species extinct with low rate as compared to the high rate in the polar region and other temperate regions. Poles witness glaciation. The portion of the poles, they face glacier. There are glaciers at their peaks where temperature is less than 0 degree centigrade, which does not support the animal to survive there. That's why they have minimum animal fauna, and tropics were undisturbed. Tropics are not disturbed by glaciers. They don't face the problem of glacier formation. That's why they are undisturbed, and animals feel free to survive in the tropics and flow their generation. This is a diagram of glaciation. In this diagram, you can observe there are mountains of ice. This frozen ice is found in the poles where the glaciers are present, and these glaciers does not have suitable temperature for the living animals. There are some fauna. There is very little fauna of the animal found at this region, and those animals which have adaptation to survive at very cold temperature, those animals can survive here. Other animals will not be survive and die, and they will not inhabit there. And in this lecture, now I will summarize the topic, the level of biodiversity. We have discussed about the level of biodiversity. There were 3 level of biodiversity: genetic biodiversity, species biodiversity, and ecosystem biodiversity. All these levels have been studied in these lectures. And types of diversity. We have also discussed about alpha diversity, beta diversity, and gamma diversity. All these things have been completely covered in this lecture and explained thoroughly. So hope so, student, you will understand this lecture. Students, Allah Hafiz.